Hello, my name's Jason. Welcome to another episode of me painting. Today we've got a 20 by 16 standard canvas up, and I've covered that with some liquid white, a very small amount of liquid white, and I've just covered the whole canvas. And to check to see how much you need is put a thin layer on and then just press it, and if you can still see your fingerprint on there, see the fingerprint, then that's the right amount. If you can't see the fingerprint, then take some off and then just spread it around again and then do the test again. Okay, there we go. Let's do a winter scene. Let's do something very cold. Oh, maybe not too cold. Don't want to have to put my coat on while I paint it. Right, let's get a little bit of phthalo blue and crimson. Get a bit of crimson as well. So we've got some Alizarin Crimson and phthalo blue. Let's get a bit more crimson. Let's give it to more to the lavender. We've got phthalo blue and Alizarin Crimson. And let's start at the top. Doing crisscross strokes. Start at the top and then work down, and then automatically it gets lighter towards the horizon. Okay, let's get a bit more colour. Let's make the sky a little bit darker. It's a little bit too light. Just getting some crimson, phthalo blue, and just tapping. There we go, that's better. Just little crisscross strokes, and then working down towards the horizon, which makes it lighter, which is what you want in a landscape. And the liquid white, it does it for you. I'm getting some more crimson and some more blue. Just like the corner. And go down. Okay. Go across. Okay, that'll do for our sky area. And let's put in, let's get some more of this blue and crimson. Let's put in some water. So just start at the edge and pull in. Start at the edge and just pull in. And they'll mix with the liquid white again. Start at the bottom part and then work upwards. Okay, let's use a clean brush. And using a clean, dry brush, let's just little crisscross strokes. We're just going. Let's just blend out this sky a little bit, get a bit softer, and then go across there, and then the water go all the way across, If you have any lines, you can just pull them out. You can make it a lot softer. And we'll leave a little bit of a light area in the middle, a bit like a sheen of light if we leave any. We'll see what we can do. Right, I'm using the landscape knife. Grab some Prussian Blue, Alizarin Crimson. Prussian Blue and Alizarin Crimson. Just picking it up, pulling it out very flat, and then cut across, get a little roll of paint. Right, back up here. Let's have a mountain here. Maybe he lives sort of there. Maybe he's there as well. Just I'm just watching the outside edge. Just watching the outside edge. Maybe it sort of goes there. Just scrape off the excess paint. And then let's do that one first, and then we can come forward. So let's grab the 2-inch brush. Just freed my hand up from the palette, and just pull this down. This is a time to think about where your highlights are and your shadow area. Just pull it out, and it mixes with liquid white. I'm just getting rid of the excess paint on a paper towel. Mixes with the liquid white and gets lighter. Create this mist at the base, which is what you want. It gets rid of the excess paint, which makes it easier for when you're putting your highlights and shadows on. And it also gets this misty area, which makes it a bit more interesting. Okay, there we go. Now back to our landscape knife. Just wipe off the excess paint, and using some titanium white, just pull that flat. Let's get a bit of crimson. Just warm that white up a little bit. Okay, and pull it out very flat, and then cut across. Get a little roll of paint on the knife. And let's start highlighting these. Now you hold the knife between your finger and thumb very lightly, and you're using the top corner of the knife. You use that to follow the shape. So, here we go. No pressure. Just letting the knife glide down. Just letting it glide. And this one, oh, let's bring that one round a bit. Maybe it's sort of there. No pressure. No pressure. Pull the paint out flat and then cut across. Just think about this one. It's very lightly. Just allowing it to flow. Allowing it to flow. You can give it a little, give the paint a little tug, and you can feel it. So breaking. Maybe this one here. Maybe it sort of goes down there. Maybe there's another little peak sort of here. Okay, now let's use a little bit of the blue, and some. Let's grab all this white. Let's make a light blue. That's going to be our shadow colour. Cut across. Little roll of paint, and let's thinking about angles. Let's just put in a little bit of shadow just around there, using that curve in the knife. That curve you create with the knife, I should say. Just there, a little bit there, so it goes round. Bit touching very lightly, create a little bit of shape. And down here it sort of falls. And this bit, every highlight needs a bit of a shadow. And then, while we're doing that, I can do that bit there. There's a little bit here as well. I can do these little details. And then maybe there's a little bit of a shadow there. Maybe there's a bit of a shadow in that bit as well. Wherever you want. Wherever you want, it's up to you. Now let's clean that up with a little bit of the white. Pull some of the titanium white out, cut across. Lower all the paint again. Let's just clean up this bit here. Don't want that bit there. So any areas you don't want it, you can just pull it off. And let's just clean up this bit. Just clean up that. And a bit on here. And a bit there. Okay, that'll do for our mountain today. Okay, now let's grab the 2-inch brush and let's tap the base of the mountain, following the angles, just very lightly, and then lift up one hair and some air. Very lightly. Okay, I'll do for a mountain. Maybe there's some trees there. So it's using the 1-inch brush. Just go. Oh, that one's the old 1-inch brush. I prefer the new ones. That one. I've had that ever since I first started that one. So it's had a few years use. So I'm just pulling in one direction, and then let's grab a bit of white and that actually. I don't want to be too dark. So I've got a little bit of sort of a light blue. Let's just touch. Let's create an area. There's lots of trees back there. Just using the 1-inch brush. Using the side of it, just pushing up. Just like that. And then maybe there's a hill that sort of lives there. Some trees on top. Always there. Okay, using the clean, dry 2-inch brush, just going to tap the base of that, using the top part of the brush. Tapping, just to do a little bit of a misty area at the base. And then what I can do is using the 1-inch brush, get some of this white, titanium white, maybe a tiny bit, not much, tiny bit of liquid white mixed in with it. Just a bit of tap, you can highlight a few of these background trees. Just here and there, just to highlight a few, just to give an indication of a few things back here. This is quite far, so there's not too much going on. We don't want too much detail yet. This is still way off in the distance. Okay. Just give that a bit of a tap there. And in front of those, maybe there's some trees. So let's grab the fan brush. Maybe got a line of trees, and they've all. Let's darken this a little bit. So the closer you get towards the painter, the viewer, the darker it needs to be. Let's put some trees here. We're using the mist in between as our separator. Just putting a load of trees in there. And maybe there's all different sizes. Sizes, all shapes. Okay, and you can even put a few detailed ones in. Just touch it in, and using the corner of the brush, you can just push up. Maybe this one, maybe there's one here. Just using the corner of the brush and then pushing up. Okay. Now let's mist that up at the base. Just tapping. It's a good idea to have a sturdy easel when you're doing this. All the way across. Maybe we can grab a little bit of that paint and just pull it straight down. Pull it straight down. The indication of some reflections. Of course, these ones are bigger. Do a bit darker so you can see it. Okay. Just wipe the brush on a paper towel and then go across. Now with the fan brush, let's grab some of this white. Let's put it there. Even with this giant palette, I still run out of room. Tiny bit of crimson. And let's start putting in some snow. That lives up there. And just following angles. Wherever you want your snow to be. Just pull it in. Along there. And then here it sort of comes down and across, wherever. It's up to you. Maybe there's a little peninsula comes out there. Just pull that in. Let's get rid of that little hair there. Okay, now using the knife, let's get a little bit of liquid white. Let's put it here. Let's get a little bit of that blue and just make a mixture some very thin blue, and I'll cut across. So I get it on the top of the knife, so you cut across and it comes onto the top. So then you can use that angle and you can start scraping in some little water lines. There's a little bit of a ripple here. They're very, very faint, but they are there. Strain it all up. Okay, let's put a little bit more white on that one. A bit more of that titanium white. Let's just put some on there. Okay, let's start bringing it. Looks like it should come out there. There's another bit there. However, and let's start bringing things forward. Let's get some of this dark colour on the 2-inch brush. Some of the Prussian Blue, a bit of Crimson. Let's darken this area. I have a few bushes here. I'm just burying them in with the 2-inch brush. We'll highlight them. There we go. Maybe there's a tree as well. Maybe we've got a big tree there. Let's grab some of the black, the blue, the crimson. All on the brush. Loads of paint. Loads of paint. Give it a wiggle. Loads of paint. And there's a tree. Right there. Maybe there's another one there. So that's this type of tree. What I'm going to do is I'm going to touch and push up. Touch and push up. There's little bits of crimson on there. Black. Blue. All the colours. And when I said a big tree. Big tree. It's a monster tree. I want that to come all the way down to here. All the way down. All the way down to there. And some more paint. You could use the number 6 fan if you wanted. Be a bit quicker. I've got the number 3 in my hand, so just use that one. Once you done a little bit of practice with these brushes and paints, you can do anything with any of the brushes. There we go. Now let's put a little indication. Let's just use some blue. Let's see how this looks. A little bit of light blue. A bit more colour. Maybe that's better. Cut across. Let's use that as our tree trunk colour. A little bit of blue. Just here and there. It's a very cold tree trunk. Right, let's use the other fan brush. Let's dip into some liquid white, and let's go into this white. It's got a hint of blue. It's not pure white, and a bit more colour. There we go. And just using the corner of the brush. Just touch and push up. I'll put some snow on these trees. Just touch in and push in. And this one's behind, so let's do him as well. Just touch in and push in. And come all the way down. All the way to the base. Okay. Now let's put in some bushes there. Just get some of this dark colour and I've got some bushes in here. Okay. Right, let's use the 1-inch brush. Let's dip into some liquid white. Let's go into this white now. Let's have all this white in there. So I'm just pulling in one direction, and you get a little bush shape, and you get one of those on your brush. So turn it over till you get the rounded point at the top, and touch, and push, touch, and push. You can create all these fantastic little bush shapes. Reload. No paint, no painting. And touch in. Work in layers as well. And there's one there. Icy. Feels icy down this bit. Okay, let's use the knife. Let's grab some of that white and move it over here. Cut across all the paint and let's start putting some snow in down here. It's all snowy. Snow comes from here as well, all the way up. It's a bit warmer. If I was here, I'd hide behind these trees. It's a little bit warmer behind there. And you can use grab the landscape knife, use the point of the knife, and you can scratch in a few sticks and twigs. Wherever. You could put in even more trees. You could even put a cabin in there if you wanted. Up to you. Up to you. I think we'll call this one finished. I'll put a little signature on. Gives you a good amount of things to practice. Get some paint thinner. If you're interested in seeing some updates on new paintings and things, then like my Facebook page, and even if you've got a painting that you've done and you want to share it, then you can post it on the wall so we can all have a look and enjoy it. So I'm grab some crimson with a liner brush, get a little bit more paint thinner. Make it as thin as ink, and then twist the bristles, twisting through the paint, and we'll put a little signature in here. Little JB, and a little cross there, and a little bird. And thanks very much for watching this painting. It's a little bit different, a bit colder, but it's always good fun to paint. So I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.